So I have been asked to read excerpts from each of the books that I have written so far. So from The Heart of the White Dove, I am going to read for all of you right now. It's called My Story, and it is the story of the cancer journey that I experienced. Maybe it might help some of you out there. So I'm going to read right from the book so I don't miss anything. Here we go. My story. No one ever expects the call to come. Certainly not me, the hospice worker who takes care of all those who are terminally ill from cancer and other illnesses. I'm a healer. I help others and I bring comfort, and have for many years. My hospice life has taught me so much, from the emotional aspect to the physical to the spiritual. Pam, you have cancer. What? Me? That can't be possible. No way can it be happening to me. But it was. The overwhelming shock, the feeling of having the rug pulled out from under you and being electrocuted all at the same time. Little did I know at the time just how much my hospice work had prepared me for my temporary journey with the big C. Previous mammograms did not show cancer, although the lump had been there. I was informed all was well, when in reality, the cancer was growing. Albeit slowly, lobular carcinoma can only be found with a biopsy and ultrasound until it gets to be too advanced. That's what happened to me. The mass was too large. I would need a full mastectomy. In thinking back, my intuition was telling me it was something, but since I was told it was nothing, I put it all out of my mind and went on with my life. A second opinion and an ultrasound early on would have prevented a mastectomy, something for which I'm now a huge advocate. Always listen to what your body is telling you and be your own advocate. So my temporary journey with cancer began, and I had some decisions to make. I knew deep within my heart the path I was not going to take, and that was traditional chemotherapy and radiation. As a hospice worker, I have seen the after effects of both, and it's not something my soul wanted. Of course, I did a great deal of praying for guidance. My spiritual background gave me a huge amount of faith that whatever I chose and was guided to do would be for my highest good. My mastectomy surgery wasn't planned for 6 weeks. I had already planned a trip to Hawaii on a spiritual retreat. I knew it would give me some important inner healing that would help me not only get through the surgery, but after as well. I was also, through synchronicity, introduced to a Japanese biochemist in my area that had owned a cancer clinic at one time and helped a lot of stage 4 cancer patients go into complete remission. The fact that we were put together at exactly the right time, I know in my heart it was divinely inspired. This was just prior to going on my Hawaii retreat. His protocol involved some heavy-duty items, and I sat and listened intently to all he had to say. There was a part of me that feared his protocol due to the fact that it was very expensive. Yet this was my life we were talking about. My very being screamed, "Do it! This is what you have been guided to do. Here is the answer you have been praying for." Thank God I had my friend with me for support. She said, "Pam, if this is what your heart is guiding you to do, just do it and don't worry about where the money is coming from. Trust it." In my heart, I so fully knew it was the right thing for me. The regimen included pancreatic enzymes, high doses of liquid vitamin C, coffee enemas, as well as other immune-building supplements. It also involved giving up animal protein and dairy, with the exception of real butter, and getting my body alkaline. I totally accepted this new way of eating and living. In fact, my body responded so well that I actually began to feel 100% better. By the time I had my surgery weeks later, I have no doubt my fast healing was a direct result of taking care of myself in a healthy and natural way. I want to share a very special message that I received while in Hawaii. Many women had said to me, "How can you even go to Hawaii knowing you have cancer?" One even said, "If it was me, I couldn't wait to get that out of my body and wouldn't be able to sleep until I knew it was gone." I wanted to acknowledge it and listen to my body. I know it may sound odd, but I thanked the cancer for waking me up to whatever it was that caused it to happen in the first place. For me, I knew I hadn't been nurturing myself throughout all my years of helping others. Then I heard my huge message. I still recall the one day I was standing out over the lava rocks on our way to Hana in Hawaii when I heard a very loud voice say, "You are not being torn apart. You are being put back right." I turned around and there was nobody there, but I knew it was a special message to me, coming from the universe, God, my angels, guides, whatever you wish to call it. I began to understand so much more from that point on. The day of surgery finally arrived. I had, of course, shed a few tears and grieved over what I knew I would be losing. But hey, it's just a breast, right? The surgery was over. They had found some cancer in the sentinel nodes and took 3 more next to that to be biopsied. The doctor felt assured she had got it all. I remember lying in that hospital bed and knew in my heart and soul that I would never be taking chemo or radiation. My journey would be done my way. I did the consults with the oncologist and radiation doctors. I just couldn't do it, although they tried to instill fear. I did not take that on. My one big disappointment was while at the oncologist's office. It was Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I was astounded to see so many sugary treats being handed out. I even had a woman try and shove a cookie at me saying, "You know you want this." What? They know sugar feeds cancer. How in the hell can they offer such garbage? She was saying how the patients going through chemo need some comfort foods and they intended to sugar them up and get them out of there. That was the last time I stepped inside that oncologist's office. I chose to continue my protocol as outlined for me, which included remaining vegan, no sugar, working on my stress level, exercise, hyperthermia, and my absolute belief system that I was cancer-free. I occasionally now will try wild-caught salmon or halibut, but that is rare. It is now 18 months later, and I remain cancer-free. All tumor markers are well below normal, and I feel healthier now than I have ever been in the past. My outlook on life has changed. Although I was mostly a positive person before, now I truly live to be alive. I take those trips I have been putting off. I'm doing those things on my bucket list and always remind myself, life is for living. I truly did get a second chance, and I plan on taking advantage of every moment here on this earth. I still have some of those fears, but I am working on them and freeing those chains that bound me before. I don't tell others how to walk their own cancer journeys, but if anyone wants to talk to me, I will share my own experience. The one important thing I tell everyone who contacts me is this: do your research before making any big decision. I also remind others, don't let fear make your decision for you. Whenever anyone asks me, "Do you feel you made the right decision?" I am taken back to the day where I asked myself the same question. Shortly after, a car pulled in front of me. I was driving behind this vehicle for a little bit, and I looked, and the license plate said, "We be glad." I smile as I recall that. It was my answer, my proof that I truly did follow my own heart. Always, always follow your heart. It will never steer you wrong. And that was April 2016. Thank you for listening.